Hello, everybody. Veggie Owl Girl here to discuss climate change. Uh, in Mexico City, there is a massive water shortage. Now, they expect the shortage to affect them majorly in the summer. This depends on what they do, whether or not they limit water or crack down on people who are overusing the water and misusing it. And stuff like that. But like I said, I thought it should be at least discussed because Mexico City, if I heard correctly, is the largest city in the world. It's a very large city. If I remember the thing about it, originally they were supposed to build a city on on a rock with a eagle catching a snake. Well, they did find that, but if I remember the story correctly, it was right in the middle of a big, huge lake, so they had to like drain the lake. And sorry, there's bugs in here. Uh, Drain the lake and then build the city on top of that. So, uh, god damn, we got some bugs in here. But it just means spring's here. In fact, we have snow right now. We had a snowstorm earlier last week, and the sun's out and it's melting the snow. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but basically, yeah, I'm like, come on, spring, get here because I'm already planting different things. I trimmed up my rosemary bush and gave some to Stacy so she could use that for her meals and all that. I got that. I'm probably going to try to figure out whether or not to keep up the sage plant or just replant it. I'm thinking about making a bunch of plants, small ones. And fractures from I might have that thing I want. Anyway, get small ones and put them into regular, small pots. If we get a bunch of them, I'm going to see if we can either use them for the upcoming community garden or I can give them to Stacy to give out to those places that help us by donating stuff. Some don't want, I mean, like the church up there that helps us a lot. I'm like, they got enough plants. I was like, we got enough plants. I'm like, well, yeah, very nice. They got a ton of plants in there. Um, but anyway, okay, so Mexico City, their reservoirs are down to a third. I could be wrong on that, but let's see, I think two-thirds or a third or something. It's down. Let's put it this way: whatever amount it is, it's down. They have different basins to collect the water, if I remember correctly. So, uh, but the thing is, come on, bug, leave me alone. The thing is, climate change is affecting a lot of different areas. Like I said, like in the Southwest here in the United States, there are areas that are having to limit the amount of water they use. Uh, there's some places out in the middle of the desert, they have a golf course. I mean, if you want to golf, fine, but there's more places to golf. I mean, out in the middle of the desert using all that water to maintain a golf course. If you have enough money to play golf, well, actually, I don't know if you have to have a lot of money, but if you want to play golf and you got enough money, just go somewhere else and make a weekend of it or something. But like I said, I'm not sure about golf. I mean, I guess it's light exercise if you don't use the golf carts. But but like I said, and there was a fountain there. I remember. Was that Las Vegas? Where the hell was that? Anyway, if you hear snoring, that's Molly. She's just sleeping. And she's doing. Oh, she will be 15 next month. April 1st, I will give her a can of dog food. That's the last time there'll be anything like meat in my house. She gets that one for her birthday. And what happened was I had to give her a bland diet for a bit, so they gave me some canned dog food and a bag of bland dog food, stuff that the doctors give you, and then I just would put some of that wet dog food on top of the bland, and she would eat it. And then I just got her back to her regular stuff. So I kept one can. I was like, well, birthday. So she will have that for her birthday. She's 15, going to be 15 April 1st. Mm. Now you're like, well, how do you know that's basically the month that that the guy who previously had Molly. What happens is I was I had been using this particular veterinary. It's called, let's see, what's it called? It's the Little Apple Veterinary Clinic or whatever. It's next to the jail. But anyway, that's fine. Um, and I always took my other dogs there. My previous one, Bear, always went there. So uh, with Bear, eventually I had him for 13 years, but I eventually had to have him euthanized. It was horrible for me because I'm like, you want your dogs forever. I was like, I don't want to lose them, but I probably waited too late. But anyway, after that, 2 weeks later, I was calling my friend Pam, and I told her that I had unfortunately put Bear down, and she said, Bear's gone. There's a dog living in a car, and it's going to get down to 15 degrees tonight. On my way. This is back when I had my house. So I went down there, saw Molly. I was like, okay. We brought her to my house, and I had a big backyard, fenced in backyard. That was $5,000, but it was for Bear. So he can run around and all that. But Nancy, she looked around. She's like, nice house, good house, nice and warm. Oh, a big backyard, very good. So I became Molly's owner. So I took her to the same veterinarian that I take Bear at, and I told them this is her name's Molly, and this is the guy who owned her previously. And it turns out he took her there in April, I do believe, many years ago. That's why I know she's going to be 15 in April, because he took her there to get her shots. And she was a puppy, so. But it was the same place. I was like, okay, so that's how I know how old she is. When I got her, she was not spayed. She had apparently had a lot of litters, but like I said, like I said, I got her spayed, shots, chipped. She's chipped, so that way and when I first came here to New York State, I called the place. This is my same phone number. This is my new home. So it was updated for her. So if she gets lost or something, all they got to do is go beep, and it'll tell them everything they need to know. Oh, by the way, you don't need to they want you to like pay stuff and all that, but basically, once the chip's in, it has all your information, and if you need to update it, just call them and update it. Just put the chip in and you're good for the time. It'll say, this is who it is, this is who she belongs to, that's their address, here's their phone number. Okay, so that's how I knew she's going to be 15. She's in excellent health. Uh, if I had money for vegan dog food, I'd do it, but she goes on pedigree. She eats pedigree, which kind of gets me mad because it used to be $22 or 22 pounds for just under 14, and now it's 18 pounds for just under 17. But because she's in excellent health, I'm not going to change it because she seems to do very well on it. So, okay, so we were talking about climate change. There are people who there are places in the world where the heat is too bad, especially around the equator. There's going to be, I think, the equator will heat up a lot quicker, and we're going to be getting people who come here because there are places where there's lots of war, lots of crime, and they want to come to the United States, which is relatively stable right now. There's political issues here too, but what can we do? But well, if you're living in a country, you just vote for whoever you want to, and like I said, I'm just worried because of, like I said, there's one group that's planning a mass deportation of all migrants. So if you want your it's not a fruit fly, it's just one of those little bugs. Um, the problem is that Hispanic individuals, we also have other individuals, but the guys coming down from south, they come up here and they work in the orchards, the produce farms, the dairies. I'm learning Spanish currently, so I can help out more. But I've been doing a Duolingo for over a year, and but I need to work on my vocabulary more. But I mean, I'm doing pretty well, and I'm understanding how to determine who's doing what. It has to do with the conjugation of the verb for that. Like I said, what you're doing, I'm doing good, but they're like, okay, you will have correction. Hello, hooray, you've learned 10 new words a day. Well, I was exposed to 10 new words. So they're like, okay, we're going to throw a lot more at her. So, yeah. And I've done the streak is, I've been doing it every day. There's only been 2 days. Okay, there's one day when I was visiting my friend Sharon, and then I didn't do it that night because I was so occupied. So, but I had a streak freeze. So, but basically, over 365 days. When I did 365 days, you did a whole year, yay! And I'm doing over a year. And as long as I work to make sure I keep my streak and make sure I don't get demoted, because you have to have so many experience points to get. I might try to get for a second or third. It begins today, so and ends on Sunday night. So as long as you're still in the league, you're good. But she's snoring. She's so sweet. Um, but like I said, there's the major problem of climate change. What I've heard about now, I'm thinking about what I heard about Europe concerning. Now they're very fertile land. They grow a lot of stuff. Ukraine, there's a war going on there. They produce a lot of wheat and a lot of sunflower seed oil. Russia, who's trying to invade Ukraine, is also has quite a few. Well, Russia's huge, so yeah, they have a lot of agriculture there as well. Um, but like I said, Ukraine has a lot of, lots of wheat fields. They think they grow most of the wheat, and I believe they, how do you say, export it to Africa. And I think the sunflower oil goes to India, so they're basically the largest breadbasket in Europe. But the thing is, we have the Gulf Stream. We call it down here the Gulf Stream. It's like it goes down and then goes back up and it goes down, goes back up, goes down, bringing cooler water, and then it gets to the warmer water. It goes up, brings the warmer water up to Europe, then goes back to the cold area, brings down cooler water, goes down to the warmer water, and keeps going up. So that's something that's extremely important for the ocean. This is Atlantic Ocean. I'm not sure what's going on in the Pacific. I'll have to look at it. Uh, if it stops running, then the climate for Europe will change drastically, and they won't be able to grow as much food. So that's another issue with. We might have to worry about mass starvation, because if some parts of and also other parts of the world, they get like flooding all the time, which they didn't before. Some places their farms have been demolished because of massive flooding. Um, California was having a 20-year drought to the point where there was just a new climate. Then we got these things called atmospheric rivers. Never heard of them before this, but before they started saying about atmospheric rivers. But from what I understand, the water being poured down ends up in the dirt and the sand and all that, and kind of makes things like cement. It makes the ground very hard and not very well useful for growing. And of course, there are the mudslides and everything. And I think there's still forest fires up there as well. Oh yeah, Texas has a bunch of forest fires as well. Um, Texas has a bunch of them because and they said 700,000 head of cattle. They're big in the cattle down there, so I don't eat them, but but yeah, like I said, the forest fire's been devastating a lot of areas, and basically the climate is changing. So I mean, some place like here, I'm in New York State, and we have the snow, but we also have warmer days. But the summers are going to be kind of hot. It's hot especially for them. But I've been in like 108 back in Kansas, 108, 112. That's when I got my dog in because the heat was too much. So I gave my cat Dharma to a friend of mine to make sure she had a good home, and she lived a very good life. She died a few years ago. They called me and said yes, she was fat and happy, very good cat. So, but I brought Bear in because it was too hot. He would had a triple coat because he was part Saint Bernard. He looks like a black lab, but he basically was black lab and Saint Bernard, which means he had a triple coat. So, and once I trained him to be, potty trained him and all that, he was good, very good dog, very good. Now Molly, I spoil like crazy. I try to do better with my dogs than um, better with them than what I did with the previous one. And this girl is spoiled. She wants to be petted before she eats her food. She wants me to help her, give her a running start up onto the bed. She goes, do, 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 shoo. And I go, you did it, you did it. I pet her. Oh, did I wake you up saying that, Mom? No, actually, she's still sleeping. But she sleeps on the couch. She sleeps on the bed. I need to do laundry. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to take it out here in a few minutes. So yeah, I'm just doing laundry while I'm waiting. And like I said, the birds are already here. The birds were here early because the weather was warming up. Now the geese, they fly around. Within the fall when they're supposed to fly out and get colder, they just fly around. They just do not stay here. They do stay here. They just fly around to the areas and then they come back, and it's just they just don't really go south anymore. We have one particular goose who it's Canadian geese, Canada geese, pardon me. And there's one particular lady, female one, that who has her nest in the same place every year. So we always, once she's on her nest, we're like, she's on her nest. And then we watch to make sure she's on her nest still. And once if she's not on her nest, she might be getting a drink of water, but the vast majority of the time she's sitting on that nest, incubating those eggs. Uh, and then when they hatch, we're like, okay, she's not on her nest. She's not on her nest. Ah, there they are. And there are some goslings following her, so that's sweet. They're really cute at the smallest age, and then they just grow up. And when things get warmer, I'm going to take her to the lake. Uh, the lakes where we can walk along the lake, and she's just going to be able to smell all the smells. People bring their dogs all the time. There are other lakes also that I need to go to and check out. I will go check out. Okay, well, I'm in New York State, but okay, Onondaga Lake is where me and Molly will go walk. There's a place called Green Lakes, the Green Lakes. I will check that out. As once it gets a little warmer, I'll go by myself with, or bring my friends along, and then we will look at the lakes. There are many parks out here. Uh, Niagara Falls, I've taken her once because I was going to visit my mom. So the first trip, we got to Buffalo, and I took her out and, let her walk around. I had her on a leash and all that, but she got to walk around and smell everything, and she got to experience. You see, you don't really know exactly how deep it is. Well, you have an idea because you could see the water down below, but at the very bottom of the Niagara Falls, there's so much water being coming up and so much mist that you don't see the bottom. But it's very, very deep. I'm going to try to go to the Canada side, and I got my passport. I can go Canada side. Oh yeah, I need to renew my driver's license. Let's see. Yeah, I got to renew my driver's license. So I'm going to try to get a lot of certain things done this week. Um, renew my driver's license. If I paid a little extra, I could have that. I just got the regular one, but but there's one you can get where you don't need your passport to go to Canada because New York State and Canada have an agreement that if you have that extra thing on your license, then you can just show the license and they'll just be okay. But I have a passport, and I think it's only good for that. I think they're trying to fix it so you will need something to fly. I'll look into it, but there's so many things. Like I said, oh, I did my early voting as well. So here in New York State, it's early voting till maybe Saturday. So this is the presidential primary. So if you want to go vote and you're intending to go vote, you can do it early, and then you will get it out of the way. Like I said, the place where I go, it was pretty. There's not many people there, but I drove over there only because it was cold. It's actually close enough that I could walk to it. But anyway, let's see. Like I said, but the thing about climate change is my argument is basically everybody. Oh, I need to write the Pope too. That's a billion Catholics, by the way. Everybody, cut your meat consumption in half. Just cut it in half. Everybody. If we get enough, if we get a major thing going on that says cut your meat in half, you can cut it all the way out if you want to. Hear me, 14 years, still alive. You have to have meat? No, 14 years, still alive and kicking. So, like I said, vegan food's good. I have these recipes, and I actually do make some stuff, throw some stuff together. But if you get the Forks Over Knives magazine, the newest one, I was like, oh, that looks great. That looks great. Oh, that looks delicious. But I'm cooking right now. I'm gonna be cooking later. Uh, but basically, like I said, the weather is changing, the climate is changing, everything's getting different. The Gulf Stream above us is basically becoming unstable because you're supposed to have a cold, above it is supposed to be cold, below it's supposed to be warmer, but because above it is warming up, uh, it's becoming unstable. So, like I said, that might go too, but like I said, the Gulf Stream and all that might go. I don't know when because they say, oh, it'll happen probably around this time, but there was these things are happening faster. So scientists think, oh, this will happen in 10 years, and it happened that year. They said, and that one year that just happened, and they're like, oh, it's 10 years early. So we need to work on climate change. Like I said, try not to. I try to combine my trips and all that. Uh, I have my car is almost paid off. July is paid off, so and since I'm not interested in having another car payment for a while, um, the and but then once I need to replace it, I will get an electric vehicle. We need to have we have like 3 or 4 places here where you can plug your EV in and then and have it charge it, and it goes a lot farther than gasoline. I'd be tempted, but I'm like I said, maybe a hybrid because there's not enough infrastructure for the how do you say the for the electric cars. Because I drive all over the place, and like I said, if I go down to visit mom in Alabama, then yeah, they don't have EVs, no charging stations, and so I'm using my car. Once we get enough infrastructure, then I will get a EV, which will be a lot better and it'll be a lot efficient. And also, we have to work on. Maybe I can talk to my National Grid guys and see if they can work on getting more solar and wind. They're doing some already, but I'm just going to see if they can switch it on. We need to get off fossil fuels. It's not good. My mom got mad because they were closing down the coal mines, and she was mad and blah blah blah. And I said, Mom, didn't Grandpa die of complications of black lung? He did. So anyway, I had better go because I got to take my laundry out of the washer and throw it in the dryer. And like I said, I'll try to push out once a week, one a week. So uh, like I said, this is important. But like I said, Mexico City, food and water will be the 2 biggest things that are going to be valuable. You think, well, we got plenty of food and water, not for long. So if you do like in North Korea, not North Korea, South Korea, when I was stationed there, if they had a spot, just the spot just like that, they'll put something on it. They'll be growing something, and they have these nice like farmers markets or just markets. They'd have those, and you go out there and you're like, oh, there's they're growing it. They put everything. I think they do that in India as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know if India, it was the largest producer of vegetables in the world. I'm not sure they're still doing that, but yeah, they produce a lot of vegetables. But anyway, I will let you guys go. Veggie Owl Girl out, and like I said, you have a nice day. And if you got spring weather, enjoy it. Enjoy it before the summer hits. All right. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.